So I was gonna record some more Dark Souls videos, but I'm a little tired. I don't think I'll be good at it. This week, let's try something a little bit more jovial, a little bit more personal. Fast and easy. That's what that's what they called me in high school. Just a joke. Don't leave any neutral answers. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. Disagree. Uh, if I'm at a social event with lots of people, if I'm at an event with small amounts of people, I feel like the pool of people to pick from to talk to is smaller, so it's easier. If there's too many people, I'd be like, well, who do I talk to? None of them, I guess. Who do I pick? What if I pick the wrong one? Uh, and they're all busy doing whatever they're doing. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Agree. I spend a lot of time alone at work, so if there's nothing for me to do, I'll look around and think about what'll happen if civil unrest erupted and I had to either hunker down or escape. I've decided that the only proper time to hunker down would be during some sort of blizzard where I would get snowed in. Every other time I should try to escape. But where I work is like in a triangle of highways. It's in between like three highways. So it's almost impossible. If it's full of traffic, full of cars, there's no way I'm gonna escape. But is that ever gonna happen? No, maybe not. Might, but it's sort of unrealistic. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'd like to do this, I'd like to go see this. I'm not gonna say, well, at 3:30 we're gonna be here, and then at 4 o'clock we'll leave and go get dinner. If we're traveling, we're doing it for fun. We're not doing it to be stressed about it. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place. Yeah, I'll do that with videos. I'll say something and then I'll think, man, I should have said that instead. All the time when someone, especially when I'm arguing with someone and they say something that just hits me right in the nuts, and then I'm in the shower thinking about it. I'm like, oh man. If I just told him, well, you know what, fatty, how about you skip the McDonald's next time? That would have really gotten him. But too late. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. Yeah, most of the time. I'll have a medium agree. Because some people, they're sad all the time and they need a good kick. But some people get sad every once in a while, and maybe it's about something irrational, but if it really bothers them, yeah, I want to be there and listen to them to help them process that help process those feelings. And I always find it easiest that if you're talking to someone, it's easier to organize all of your thoughts and figure it out. People can rarely upset you. No, I'm pretty easy to upset, especially on the road. Like I don't really get offended, but it's people upset me when they're ignorant or they don't try, like when they don't have an excuse to not know something. Like they don't read instructions and then they're mad that they don't know what to do or they're not paying attention. Just earlier today, I saw someone pull into an exit out of a parking lot. There's big medians there, and he pulls in. He almost rammed someone. He almost hit someone head on by pulling into the wrong thing. And that made me mad, even though I wasn't involved at all. I was on the road like this, looking at him in the parking lot. So yeah, I can get upset. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. Yeah, that's true. Because I feel like what I like to talk about is very niche. And when I start talking, people don't listen. So, like, if I'm not just going to talk to myself, if I'm going to talk to myself, I'll do it when I'm alone. So, we'll talk about what you want to talk about, because then both of us will be paying attention. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. No, I'll try to get around to it, but if I have something that's more important that I need to do, sorry, my plans are getting pushed back. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. Yeah, that's true. I generally don't care what people think about me. Like, that's not true. Like, obviously you don't want to give people a reason to dislike you. But if someone doesn't like me, I don't care. Unless it's a pretty girl, then I'm like, oh man, did I make enough eye contact or whatever? It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. I'll strongly disagree. I would get lonely, but I'd never get bored. If I didn't have any internet and I was in the middle of the woods, maybe I'd get bored, but even then I'd feel like there's always something to do. There's always stuff to go see, always wood to be chopped, resources to be collected, so there's always something to do. So I don't really ever get bored. And if I do get bored, it's because there's something I want to do that I can't. You're more of a detail-oriented than big picture person. No, I'll soft disagree. I'd say I'm more of a big picture person, but I understand the merit and the value of detail. So I'll have to unfortunately be sort of neutral there. You are very affectionate with people you care about. I am pretty affectionate. I want to tell people that I care about that they look good and their eyelashes are long, and I want to make sure to give them a good tap on the leg and all that. Yeah, I'm very, very affectionate. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. No. Yeah, I'll actually agree. I'll agree. They say approach to life, you think about career or whatever. Nope, that's a complete disaster. But anything else, I'm like, well, if I'm at the grocery store, I look through the flyer and try to put a meal together and say, oh well, if I get this is on sale, and I can get this and that's on sale, and I can make some soup out of that. So I take care and I have a method, so I guess that's being careful and methodical, right? Am I overthinking this? You were still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago? Yeah. Um, I'd like to say, you know what, it's in the past, it happened, it's over. But I have done some stupid stuff, some embarrassing stuff. And there's probably people that would still talk to me if I wasn't such an idiot. Every year, ever since I was 22, I say to myself, can we forget everything that happened before I turned 22, please? And then next year, can we forget everything that happened before I turned 23, please? Every year I say that. And I try to not be too upset. Not stuff when I was a kid, like grandparents and parents bring that stuff up. Oh, ha ha ha! He said this to the neighbor. He was 4 years old and he saw a package and he says, I don't know what in the hell this is. And they all laugh at me. But I'm not bothered by that. I don't even remember it happening. But things like, okay, that was a complete overreaction. I shouldn't have acted that way. I shouldn't have, like, I had no right to think that way. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. Yeah, I don't go to parties like that. I don't even know what a party is. Is a party like what you see in the movies where the house is just full to the brim with people and they're standing in front of the stereo dancing and drinking out of red Solo cups? I've been to events similar to that, and yeah, I stay on the outskirts, observing, watching people mostly. Maybe I'll have a friend that's there, we can people watch or talk about something that we care about. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. Yeah, um, I'm I'm not an unemotional person. I certainly am emotional, but everything I feel, I try to rationalize and say, okay, this is why I feel this way. I don't just let myself feel things for no reason. So if someone is letting their emotions guide them irrationally, aside from reason, then yeah, for sure, I can't relate to them. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. Ages? I'll soft agree. I will do that, just scroll through, but that's because it all looks bad. This just might be incidental. This might just coincide with me not liking any movies or TV shows. My taste is very narrow. There's not a lot of things that I like when it comes to movies or TV shows. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Yes. There's been very few times where I've actually had a breakdown. And I sort of have this hero mode, where if the intensity of a situation goes up, like, oh, it started snowing hard and now the car is stuck, where some people would have a tendency to panic and say, oh my god, we can't move, we're gonna be stuck here. I start, like, my brain switches and I start thinking, okay, how do we get out of this? How do I keep the people here calm? How do I get us to work together? But, I can't give it a hard agree, because there have been times where there's been pressure and people are not cooperative, and I just, like, throw them to the side and say, okay, bye. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. If I'm in a group of people I don't know, I'm going to disagree. I don't ever find myself in a group of people I don't know. And it's not that I won't jump into the conversation. Once I, listen for long enough and get a feel for it. But so many people are, like, they just sit there like this, ready to get in their prepared statement. They're listening to the conversation and they're preparing what they're going to say next. Their zinger in the conversation. And I do that too, for sure. But they're just so eager to get that out that I don't barely get a chance to say anything. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. They're bizarre. Whenever I dream, I'm being chased by someone, or someone's trying to break in and I need to kill them, or they're trying to stab me, so I have to stab them instead, and then I have to call the cops and tell them that I just killed someone. And is that fantastical? Like, I don't see unicorns and rainbows. My dreams, and this has happened before I ever played Dark Souls 3, but my dreams look like Dark Souls 3. Just gray and smoke and dreary, and someone's always trying to kill me. So yeah, that's bizarre. In your opinion, it's sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Get ahead in life? What, make more money? It's okay to... I don't know. It's not okay to actively work against to actively harm someone for your own benefit. No. But I'm going to just medium disagree, because I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. That's going to be a soft agree. I have accomplished things when I set my mind to it. I've written books. I'm trying to consistently make videos, and I'm putting a lot of time into that. But yeah, I don't actually have a lot of goals, and I can get sidetracked for sure. So that's going to be a soft agree, because I do get sidetracked. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. No, I'm going to disagree. I do make mistakes, but I immediately understand, okay, this is why this happened, and this is how I could have done that better. Once I realize the mistake has been made, I'm like, okay, this is easily how this could have been avoided. And I hate making mistakes. They do make me feel dumb. I do feel, inadequate, but I don't, you can't dwell on your mistakes. You have to move forward. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Yeah, that's going to be a hard agree. There's people that I see literally every week. People that I see every week, and I don't know their names. They know who I am, and they see me, and they hear me talking, and maybe I'll even talk to them. Or, not talk to them, but, exchange pleasantries. And I don't know their name. I'll smile and say hi, but that's it. Even the people I do know, I barely talk to. I don't know, maybe I'm just not very friendly. I feel like I'm easy to get along with and easy to talk to, but I just don't have a lot to say, I suppose. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. That's a hard disagree. That's when I gain interest in the discussion. When it's some people can act stupid and be pedantic and nitpicky. But that's not philosophical. People be pretentious and try to introduce philosophy into something that where it doesn't belong. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. That's gonna That's gonna be a soft agree. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna agree more. I literally sat in front of a girl, crying my eyes out, telling her how much I loved her and wanted to be with her, and she sat stone faced and only started crying when she was talking about herself. People are disgusted when men cry. You can look at all the memes you want on Facebook of Harry Styles crying, but that's just not the way the world works. It's not an invention that men just need to feel tough. People treat you differently. People lose respect for you. Uh, but if it was someone I really trusted and was comfortable with, I would cry in front of him. But for the most part, absolutely not. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. That's a hard disagree. I hate going into the city. I hate being around a lot of people. I like being in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, on the outskirts of town. If I need to get groceries and I drive by the store and there's too many people in the parking lot, I'll just say I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I don't. I'm not interested in going to New York or Chicago or anything like that. I'm more interested in going to Vermont. Here, Vermont's beautiful this time of year. All that snow. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future? Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about tech and the evolution of political philosophy and things like that, and the pinnacle of technological advancement. When are we going to hit the peak? I personally think the peak is very close. Things besides medical advancement, because medical advancement, like being able to 3D print new organs, that's going to be great. But everything else, like we're sort of like life is sort of getting worse. I don't feel like smartphones are making life better. They're certainly useful for sure, and I use my smartphone every day. But it's we're getting to the point that I think we're gonna start like it's actually gonna be detrimental to us. And I'm not someone who hates technology for sure. I love technology, but I think we're close to the top of the roller coaster. Just my opinion. Sorry, I know this is supposed to be more laid back. I'm not supposed to be giving any hot takes today. When it comes to making life changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. I'd like to disagree. I would like to disagree, but that's not true. My head tells me that I need to move to Montana and work on an oil rig and make loads of money and just live in a shack and save it all up so that I can live a reasonable life when I eventually get married. But my heart is connecting me here to my home, to my family, to my community, to the people whose lives I'm involved in, and what how their lives would change without me here. Yeah, I do listen to my heart for sure. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. No, I'm gonna disagree. Like if you can think about something, you can experience it. Isn't that true? But I don't think that's. I think they're saying anything material or quantifiable. I suppose. And no, I disagree. I would like those things are interesting to think about. I can't imagine dedicating my life study to anything. I can't imagine dedicating my life to the study of anything. I feel like my interests change every 3 months, so I'm just gonna disagree for now. Whatever. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. No, that's not true. There is a mean streak in me for sure. But, as I said, I love Jesus. I'm all about forgiveness. If someone really wants to be on my good side, it's not hard. It's not hard. I like everyone. You often make decisions on a whim. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that I don't like being around people, but the most of my philosophy is developed not when I'm talking to people, not when I'm talking to other people. And maybe that's just because I don't have anyone that thinks like me that I could talk to and bounce ideas off of. But I I'll play devil's advocate for myself, and if I say something, I think of what the blowback from that would be, or what an opponent would potentially say, and try to respond to that. And not to say that it's more interesting in like the sense that I understand things better. Like I can line up my experiences in a way that makes sense, and I can view the world through that lens. It's like at the eye doctor when they're putting the different things in front of you. I'm like trying this out and this out. Is it one or two? One or two? Okay, two. Okay, what about one or two? I like it's time I spend with people is satisfying for sure. I remember all sorts of things I do with all kinds of people, but no major philosophy or way I view the world was really made by talking to other people. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or a movie. I don't put special effort. And this is the whole philosophy of death of the author, where once the author writes something and puts it out, then it's open for anyone to interpret it however they want. I don't see it that way. I see the author's intent as just as important as whatever the work itself is. Like people say that King Kong is about American slavery. Like imagine in my opinion that's a little racist to say that a movie about a giant monkey oh well the giant monkey is black people. Like I don't think I like that. I think Quentin Tarantino said they didn't intend to make a movie about slavery, but that's what they ended up making. And I don't agree. And I don't feel like it takes special effort to understand themes in in any song or movie. You always know exactly what you want. No, I'm going to disagree. I often know what I want. I'm going to soft agree actually, because I often know what I want. I want a Big Mac or I want some Arizona green tea. But in a deeper sense, what I want from other people is not. I don't exactly know. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. That's a hard disagree. I often think about the choices I made. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. I feel like we already asked this question. Mm, I focus on present realities and future possibilities. I'm actually gonna disagree. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. That's gonna be a disagree. I often have to sort of lawyer if someone's upset about something. Can you believe this person said this to me? And I sort of have to take them back and say, okay, well, do you see that you talked to them this way and you didn't invite them to this party and you didn't text them back for 3 days and they said this to you and now you're upset? Like, could you possibly see if that happened to you that would make you act that way? Can you imagine yourself saying that to someone? I actually put effort into understanding people's feelings and understanding how they come to the conclusions they do. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. Yeah, uh, that's true. I want to know what my end goal is. If I'm there to build a house, I'm not just going to start putting up planks and be like, well, I want to know how big the house is, I want to lay the foundation, not just start throwing stuff out there. And I'm a writer, so of course I'm talking metaphorically. The house, in this sense, is a book. And I want to know what I'm building to, what I want to end up with. what kind of story I want, how I want it to end. And knowing that is greatly helpful. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. I don't think I've ever thought that. No, I've never thought that. I do think if someone admires me, I'll think to myself, well, they just don't know me yet. But I feel like there's a gap. Like, here's people that don't like me are over here. People that don't like me because they don't know me. And people who, like, admire me are people who know me a little bit. And then the people who don't like me are the people that know me really well. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Nope. People I find interesting, I'm not smart enough. People I find interesting are people that are smarter than me. And if I want to, I sort of want to talk to them on their intellectual level, but I'm not smart enough to. So I feel like an idiot saying something so baseline like, oh, this is some crazy weather we're having, huh? Like, you are an astrophysicist. I'm talking to an astrophysicist. Yeah, you have eyes. You can see the weather's nice. I'll say, isn't the weather nice to my stupid uncle who's high on painkillers. I'm not gonna say that to this astrophysicist I'm trying to talk to. So I don't feel comfortable. And I've done it before. I've tried to talk to people on, like, to try to understand what they're talking about, and I just end up asking the wrong question, and they don't try to enlighten me on anything, or they don't try to go deeper into their field of expertise, and I'm just like, oh, so you just don't want to talk? Cool. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. That is absolutely true. I spend most of my time daydreaming, I would say. Anytime that I'm not having media directly sent into my eyeballs, I'm daydreaming. Which I should probably go on a media purge to get my creative juices flowing. You look after yourself first and others come in second. I'm not going to say that this is like a selfish idea. Because if you are the most competent person, like let's say you're out in the wilderness with a group of people and you are the most competent person. So if you die, everyone else dies. So you get to eat the liver of the thing you hunted because no one else knows how to hunt. You get the best parts of that so that you can hunt again to keep them alive. And this like goes deeper into my philosophy of community, that not taking care of yourself actively hurts other people. I'm not going to get into another hot take. But no, I won't want to say others come second. If I'm making myself some lunch, I make a little bit extra. I make some extra. I make enough for everyone to eat, not just for myself. But I don't think that taking care of yourself is selfishness. I think that's actually a virtue. Keeping yourself healthy and strong and equipped and resourceful so you can add value to other people's lives is a virtue. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing whatever you feel like at any given moment. Yeah, that's true. I've needed to get my oil changed in my car for 2 months, and I drove right past the oil change. I drove past 2 places I could get 3 places. Today I drove past 3 places I could get my oil changed, and I didn't stop at any of them. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, my mood can change quickly, but not randomly. I can be happy, and someone can ruin it, or I can be sad, and someone can brighten it. That's true, yeah. My mood can change, but it's not random. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Yep, spend a lot of time thinking about stuff like that. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. To myself. I don't talk about my own feelings and emotions to other people, which is what I think the question is. But I talk about my own feelings to myself because there is a sense It's always said that women understand their emotions better than men. So I have to take time to line up my feelings and rationalize them, like I said before. Okay, this is why I feel this way, and this is what caused it, and this is actually what I'm feeling. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. Nope, I am a millennial. I'm a millennial and a millennial man, so that's going to be a hard disagree. You rarely dwell on your regrets. No, I spend too much time thinking about the stuff that I've done wrong. Like I said, I feel like I've already been asked this. But yeah, there's things that I've done and people I could probably still have friendships with if I wasn't such a spaz. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Yeah, yeah. I don't, like I said, I don't go to many parties, but any party like thing I have been to, as soon as too many people get there, I'm like, okay, let's go. And this might be just incidental because I am sort of on the outside and no one really notices that I'm even there, and so they don't talk to me. So I see everyone else having fun except for me, and I want to get a getaway. I don't think that's what the question is, though, so whatever. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. Yeah, I would. What is realist? A person who accepts a situation as it is and is prepared to deal with it accordingly. Thinking about or planning the future with imagination or wisdom. I don't see how these things are mutually exclusive. You can be a realist and a visionary. You can understand the situation you're in. And I feel like those two things can go together. You plan accordingly to make the best of it. But I'll agree, I am a realist. Any situation I'm in, I figure out the way to do it to cause the least amount of suffering to myself and other people, for sure. You find it easy to empathize with the person who has gone through something you never have. This empathy word is sort of a hot buzzword now. It's said that empathy is the toxic version of sympathy, that sympathy is good and empathy is bad. And I don't know if I feel empathy. I can feel for someone, but I don't feel the same thing they do. That's insane. So I guess I'll disagree. I can understand someone. I can easily feel for them or feel bad for them. The difference between the most commonly used meanings of these two terms is sympathy is feeling compassion, sorrow, or pity for the hardships that another person encounters. Empathy is putting yourself in the shoes of another, which is why actors often talk about it. I don't think this is true. Being empathetic is not getting the thread to fix the bear. So this theory has it as a building thing going from pity to sympathy to empathy to compassion. I don't know. This is all stupid. I hate this. This is pedantry at its finest. Yeah, let's just disagree. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organized and consistent efforts. Yeah, that's true. I can be organized and consistent, but it's more spontaneous bursts of energy. Your emotions control you more than you control them. No. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. No. Anytime I get time off, I want to relax. I want to be away from people because I'm around people all the time and they're getting on my nerves. So, time to myself to sit back and think or take a nap or whatever. I don't want to be around more people that are going to exhaust me. A fun party? You mean like a nice little tea party where we eat some tea and scones? Eat some scones and drink tea? That sounds great, but no, I don't think that's what I mean by party. A fun party is where we drink, we get so drunk that we can't even walk straight. Yeah, disagree. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement can change everyday life. Yeah, I do frequently, yeah. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Yep, I do. As a matter of fact, that's really what keeps me from acting in a lot of cases, because I'm worried about how other people are going to see it or how it's going to affect them. You still honor the commitments you have made even if you have a change of heart. I feel like that's one of my core values is my faithfulness and commitment that uh, I if you need me, I'm gonna be there. Integrity, if I say something, I mean it. I don't want to have double speak. I don't want to say one thing to your face and another thing behind your back. So if I tell you I'm gonna help you on Saturday, I'll be there on Saturday. Even if I'm like, well, I don't really feel like it. Well, I told you I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna be there. You rarely feel insecure. Insecure? Not confident or assured, uncertain, and anxious. No. Nope. Yes, I rarely feel insecure. I feel bad about myself sometimes. I think, oh man, I could probably have a six pack if I worked out, and I could probably be a male model if I put in some effort. But, or I could probably be smarter. I could make more money, but I don't spend a lot of time feeling bad about myself. Wow, 97% introverted. Your personality type is INFPT. I feel like this is kind of dumb. Like they ask, I feel like I could have told you this. Do you like being around a lot of people? No. Well, then you're introverted. Really? Really? I needed to take a test to find out that I don't like being around people a lot. Oh my god, 53% turbulent. Things are turbulent. Oh no, that's what the T means. I'm turbulent. I'd say I'm pretty assertive, right? Be assertive. Alright, let's start reading. There's a train passing my house. Mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people and events, searching for ways to make things better. I feel like this is like glorified astrology. I feel like most people can see themselves in some of this stuff. This is like it's like on Facebook when the most selfish, stupid, nasty, mean person hits a button on Facebook and it tells them you are a kind-hearted individual and people rely on you for your kind smile, and they share it with pride. Yes, this is definitely true of me. Oh, compromising just 4% of the population. The risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type. Is there anyone who doesn't feel a risk of being misunderstood? Except for like the most confident public speakers. And even they get understood and taken out of context. Being a part of the diplomat role group, mediators are guided by their principles. That's absolutely right. For honor and for glory. Oh, shoot. Well, that's not going to fit in the frame. Rather than by logic, excitement, or practicality. When deciding how to move forward, they will look to honor, beauty, morality, and virtue. That is true, 100%. To an extent. Mediators are led by the purity of their intent, not rewards and punishments. That's... Even though I have talked about the world working on rewards and punishments, I don't do a whole lot of stuff expecting stuff in return. People who share the mediator personality type are proud of this quality, and rightly so. That's right! For morality and virtue, honor and beauty. But not everyone understands the drive behind these feelings, and it can lead to isolation. Tolkien, love Tolkien. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. Is Tolkien the first guy to say this? The hiker motto? We know what we are, but know not what we may be. Yep, listen to many few people, but talk to few. Isn't that like the first thing I said? This is the best thing. Oh, why? Love Tolkien, Shakespeare. Look at all these people. Frodo. I feel like Sybil was very adventurous in Downton Abbey. Yep, that's always a nice thing to see. I hate Frodo, though. Frodo sucks. Frodo's so unsure of himself. He doesn't want to do anything. He stays in the Shire for 11 years after getting the ring. Or however many years. Strengths. Idealistic. Seek and value harmony. Open-minded and flexible. Very creative. Passionate and energetic. Dedicated and hardworking. Is there anyone who would openly say, yeah, I'm fickle and lazy? Who wouldn't see this and agree with it? I'm passionate and energetic. Of course, I'm very passionate. I'm creative. I invented a new dish. I wrap hot dogs in bacon. That's very creative. Weakness is too idealistic. Oh, that is true. They're setting themselves up for disappointment as again and again evil things happen in the world. That is true. There's types of people that I have so much hope for that I would love for them to prove everyone wrong, to defy stereotypes, to go above and beyond what people expect of them. But over and over again, they keep letting me down. They keep fulfilling their stereotypes. They walk around as a walking stereotype. Everything that everyone says about them is true. Too many people do that, and they're always letting me down. Mediators may not just idealize their partners, but idolize them. I guess, maybe? Yeah, I do. Up until recently, I spent so much time, for sure, idolizing the idea of having a wife and having someone to share myself with in every possible sense. But the more people I meet, the more women I meet that are, within my age range of marriageability, they keep letting me down by being fickle, by being stupid, by being useless, incompetent, being like a walking millennial stereotype. The millennial that everyone hates. Like, that is everyone. Sorry. I know for the one girl that's watching this, I know you're not like that and you're special. And I'm not talking about you, obviously. Too altruistic. I feel like I might not be altruistic enough. Is there anyone who's going to say, yep, I'm very stingy. I'm very stingy with everything I have and I hate being nice to people. Is there anyone that would say that? Yeah, I don't agree with this for myself. Taking things personally. Yeah, I do take... Who doesn't take things personally? If someone comes up to you and says, I have a problem with you, like, yeah, that you take that personally. Hello? Mediators are private, reserved, and self-conscious. This makes them notoriously difficult to really get to know. And their need for these qualities contributes to the guilt they often feel for not giving more of themselves to those they care about. I'm not difficult to get to know if you want to know me. I'll answer any question you have. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Sure, is there anyone that would be like, yeah, I hate everyone, I trust everyone, and I do wrong to everyone? Yeah, this is true. Mediators share a sincere belief in the idea of relationships that two people can come together and make each other better and happier than they were alone, and they will take great efforts to show support and affection in order to make this ideal a reality. I would like to say that that's true of myself, but I feel like every girl that just broke up or got broken up with says this. It's so hard when you're the only one trying. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever, dude. Like, oh, so you stood there with your arms folded and looked at me, and that's you trying. Like, no, it's not. You're not trying. And you're a mean person. You're not trying. Stop saying that. You're a liar. Mediators aren't necessarily in a rush to commit. They are, after all, prospecting types and are almost always looking to either establish a new relationship or improve an existing one. They need to be sure they found someone compatible. I wouldn't say that has to do with my personality. I'd say it has more to do with my experience. Experience has told me, hey, I need to be with someone who would be in agreement with my principles, that has similar ideas, similar ideals. Oh, I hate this. In dating, meteors will often start with a flurry of comparisons, exploring all the ways the current flame matches with the ideal they've imagined. Ugh, I hate that. And I know I was just crapping on everyone, saying everyone's trash and that's why I'm single, but I feel like not everyone has merit, but everyone has some merit, and they need to be appreciated for the merit that they bring, and not be pushed into a box of what you fantasized about. That's disgusting. This progression can be a challenge for a new partner, as not everyone is able to keep up with the mediator's rich imagination and moral standards. Listen, I've taken an IQ test on this channel before. I think it was fake because it said 131, and I've taken another one where it was like 81, which is borderline retarded. So I'm not going to say that I'm an intellectual powerhouse, but there are so many stupid people. People whose competence is so low. People who don't know how to pump their own gas. People who don't know how to fry an egg. Like, there's so many basic things that people just don't know how to do. And for someone like me who is all about learning new skills and about making the skills that I have better, it's like disgusting to me that people are so stupid, especially in this information age where any knowledge known to man is at your fingertips. The fact that people are still ignorant baffles me. But I'm saying all that to say about this whole, oh, well, they can't keep up thing. And my moral standards are more like the negatives, like, don't do this. Like, oh, you're addicted to heroin and you want me to date you? Well, I'm going to accept you as you are. Sorry, but like, you're doing damage to yourself. That's not an attractive thing. I don't want that. Sorry. Won't be good for our children. As a relationship takes hold, people with the mediator personality type will show themselves to be passionate, hopeless romantics, while still respecting their partner's independence. Is there anyone who would say that in their relationships they're dull and hate any excitement in their love life? That they treat their significant other just like anyone else, like basically just one of their friends or acquaintances? Is there anyone that would say that? Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. That's true. Punctuality is a core value of mine. Time is a finite resource for everyone, and respecting other people's time is a core value of mine. I want to respect other people's time and not take too much of it because I don't want them taking my time. This aversion to conflict, while contributing greatly to stability in the relationship when done right, is probably the most urgent quality for mediators to work on. Between their sensitivity and imagination, mediators are prone to internalizing even objective statements and facts, reading into them themes and exaggerated consequences, sometimes responding as though these comments are metaphors designed to threaten the very foundations of their principles. I don't think I would do that. And if someone did that to me, if I said something to someone and they started reading into it, I would punch them in the face. I wouldn't punch a woman in the face. I would just go, just kidding. Just a joke. This is a comedy show. I hate overreaction. Overreaction to anything is ugly, hideous. I hate it. Does this not apply to everyone? Focus on improving their ability to respond to criticism with calm objectivity rather than irrational accusations and weaponized guilt. Who doesn't do that? Who is naturally good at taking criticism? But that's at their uncommon worst. At their best, mediators do everything they can to be the ideal partner, staying true to themselves and encouraging their partners to do the same. Mediators take their time in becoming physically intimate so that they can get to know their partners, using their creativity to understand their wants and needs and adapt to them. People with this personality type are generous in their affection, with a clear preference for putting the pleasure of their partners first. It is in knowing that their partners are satisfied that mediators truly feel the most pleasure. 100% true. The true friends of people with the mediator personality type tend to be few and far between, but those that make the cut are often friends for life. The challenge is the many dualities that this type harbors when it comes to being sociable. Mediators crave the depth of mutual human understanding, but tire easily in social situations. I don't tire easily in one-on-one situations, or even small, like 5 people maybe. Let's go with 4 people. 5 people might be a bit too much. But I'm fine with 4 people. Well, I don't have any children yet. It is perhaps more challenging for mediators to find a satisfying career than any other type. And this is all getting a bit too in-depth. I'm not sure I want to read all of that. Few personality types are as poetic and kind-hearted as mediators. Well, there you go. I'm a kind-hearted friend, and I would not throw your diamonds into lava in Minecraft on Valentine's Day. Absolutely not. What you've read so far is just an introduction into the complex concept that is the mediator personality type. If you muttered to yourself, wow, this is so accurate, it's a little creepier. Finally, someone understands me. You may have even asked, how do they know more about me than the people I'm closest to? Oh, this is not a trick. You felt understood because you were. We've studied how mediators think and what they need to reach their full potential. And no, we did not spy on you. And here's the Gemini. I'm a Gemini. Strengths: gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. Weaknesses: nervous, inconsistent, indecisive. Oh no, my sister's being very loud downstairs. I feel like this personality stuff is just one step above astrology. Seriously? I do. You're not like everyone else. You're right, I'm like 4% of the population. Oh, your personality is a beautiful mystery. If you struggle to understand yourself at times, well, that might be because you run so deep. People have told me that they don't understand me, which I feel like I'm fairly easy to understand. Maybe that's because of my 131 IQ that I am so intelligent that I understand myself. But I feel like if you want to know something about me, it's not difficult. Like, I'll tell you. The mediators are the personality type most likely to say they want to change quite a few things about themselves. Here we go. This is what I need to hear. You don't need to be changed. Thank you. Yeah, I've had... And this is something that disgusts me about what it said before about having impossible standards for your lover, and this idea of Beauty and the Beast, that the woman desires the beast so that she can fix him. She takes the savage man and civilizes him and fixes him. The beauty tames the beast. And I've had someone do that to me. They're like, I don't know how to help you. Do I look like I need help? I wasn't even asking for any help. And that's rough. When you're trying to show off yourself, you're trying to show your personality, you're opening up your heart, and someone says, I don't know how to help you. You serious? Deep down, you know you'll only become your best self if you stop trying to be like anyone else. But that's easier said than done. Well, everyone knows, everyone who comes on this channel knows who I want to be like. But that's easier said than done. Sometimes it feels like the whole world is pressuring you to be outgoing and perfectly put together. In other words, to conform. I am a nonconformist. Is there anyone who's like, yep, I'm completely inside the box, I do what everyone tells me to do? Is there anyone who says that? In these moments, you might worry about fitting in or pleasing others or being productive, all the while feeling that something is missing. And that's because something is missing. Your true self. Maybe I need to go on a trip and find myself. And then I'll finally unlock my true power. Finish that novel you've always wanted to write. There's 2 novels I need to finish. One is a shorter one. Well, actually, there's 3. Because I hate the first chapter of this novel I wrote and second drafted. And I hate the first chapter, so I need to fix that. There's one novel that is so fantastical and high magic. Like, there's crazy... It's like flashing... It's like Dragon Ball Z with how much magic is going on. There's laser beams flying everywhere and people going in and out of portals and all sorts of stuff. And it's sort of hard for me to keep track, but I can do it. Only 37% of meteors say they're satisfied with what they've achieved so far in life. Ask anyone my age, ask any millennial, if they're satisfied with what they've achieved. What did they, like, I doubt it would be even 37%. And here's more extra reading. Whoa, 262-page mega profile? No thanks. Oh, now they're trying to sell me something. Well, take the 16 personality test and tell me what you end up with. And